So Tribe, how are we doing today? We have a difficult skill. We have a pistol squat class. So this is an advanced class. If you haven't got your pistol squat yet, but you want to get there, there's going to be certain exercises in this video, in this class, that's going to help you. However, if you can't like deep squat yet, if you can't do some more simple movements, then this class is something for the future. If there's going to be like progressions and regressions for each thing. So if you're a little bit on the fence and you're not sure, just give it a go. Do the best you can. You're going to have benefits. The equipment that you're going to need, you'll need something like a wall space or like a stick to hold on to for balance, because we're going to be like testing the pistol squat. Really beneficial if you have a wedge or something that's slanted, a slant board or something like that. If you don't have that, if you have like books that you can prop up or weight plates or anything like that. I'm going to be using some dumbbells just for some weight, for some isometrics. You don't need those, but it does help you. But you can also just hold onto the floor or hold on to something nearby. A red resistance band that I've already got attached. Yoga blocks. If, let's say, for example, you don't have a full pistol squat and you get to a position where you're kind of stuck, you can use the yoga blocks to prop you up, or a table, a bench or something, and then optional ankle weights. Ooh, and we will need a stretching strap or some sort of something like this, like a belt will do, or a rope, or something that you can push against that's not going to go anywhere. So with the class, it's going to be broken down into 3 different elements, just 3 different blocks really working on. The most important thing for a pistol squat is a full body movement, but you do require a lot of ankle dorsiflexion, a lot of strength in end range knee flexion, and also you're going to need muscular strength and development in all of your legs to be able to push yourself up out of that position. So if you don't have that yet, you can work on eccentric loading and isometrics to improve that. For the cars, we're going to get started with warming up the T-spine. That's really important. And then segmentation of the spine, hips, knees, ankles, toes. So with the T-spine, stay exactly where you are. You can come stay standing with nice wide legs, or however you enjoy doing the T-spine movement. I'm just going to stay in this sort of position. Squeeze nice and tight, take a nice deep breath in, and really try and just isolate that T-spine. Just tick-tock back and forth. So go one direction, then once you hit that rep, change the direction and go all the way around to the other side. Just really try to close your eyes if you can, or if you want to, and think about like concentrating on that T-spine and just trying to move it from the T-spine as much as possible. Try to minimize movement from the lower body, minimize movement from your head, and just really think about rotating, laterally tilting, extending all the way round to the other side, laterally tilting again, rotating, flexing. Awesome. Come onto your hands and knees. Got loads of dog hair on this mat. You probably can't see it, but it's all over the place. Go into full flexion and then try to tilt or anteriorly tilt from lower back, and then just try to extend the whole way up to cervical spine. Once you're in full extension, you know the score. Start with the lumbar into flexion. T-spine, try and minimize scapula. And just do a couple more reps as slow as you can. And really try and up the intensity a little bit on this last rep. Awesome. Hips, we can be sideline, we can be standing, whatever you want. I'm going to stay on the floor. If you want to do it standing, whatever you prefer. With the warm-up cars, just go, first rep, 30-40% just to get used to it. So we're dragging that foot up, thinking about external rotation and flexion. Abduction, keep that external rotation until we hit the roadblock. And then we go to internal rotation and drive that heel backwards. Try to minimize that lower spine. Try to really just work from the hip. Use whatever you can for full body tension. Second rep, you're just going to ramp it up, pushing those end ranges, doing all you can to maximize hip, minimize spine. Could hold onto my mat here like that. Oh. One more, and think max effort, just really pushing, slow that movement down, keep it 1 mile an hour. Awesome stuff. Change sides. Upper body tension, same again. My left side's always a little bit harder, which is normal. So in the pistol squat, you're gonna have one side that's you're definitely gonna prefer, whether that be because you've got more strength or more mobility or both. You will find one side easier. Okay, last rep then, ramp it up, lows, external rotation flexion, as much as you can. Keep that external rotation as we abduct and then drive internal rotation. Don't let the lower back budge. Glutes and hamstrings should feel it there. Then we extend more glutes, hamstrings. Try and keep that ankle high as we abduct again and come round into flexion, external rotation. Awesome. Knees. So with the knees, I want to just focus both legs at the same time. Sat down, just think about like a windscreen wiper in a car with just tibial rotations. Try and keep like femur and thigh bone really, really still. Dig that heel into the ground a little bit. Oh, burny, burny, burny sensations. If you feel the burn in your ankle, that's normal. Just really try and concentrate on your shin bone, top of the knee, or bottom of the knee, top of the shin. Then with just a little bit of a warm up for the knees in terms of max flexion. If you want, you can just sort of come into a position like this with one leg, or you can just hold it like this, but just go full extension and then come down into flexion and just give it a bit of a squeeze. Extension, flexion, squeeze, extension, flexion, big squeeze. Other leg. As you extend, try and keep your like hip flexion, try and keep that knee up nice and high. Ankle cars then, and then we'll get into the dorsiflexion in the first element. So lift your leg off the ground and just do those big, nice circles, trying to keep the shin bone really still now. And just picture that you've got a bit of chalk on the end of your toe, and you're trying to draw the biggest circle you possibly can and make it a perfect circle. Don't slow down, don't speed up. Just do 3 or 4 reps each side. Change legs. Where your body speeds up, or where your body's like, no, just gonna quickly zoom through that bit, that tends to be the bit where you're weaker or you haven't got much movement there or control. So that's why we try and keep it real steady, real slow. And the more intensity you can use internally, the better you're going to get, the more bang for your buck. For me, this bit here, this outer edge on the left-hand side, is where I feel the weakest, so I like to just rep out a couple of times. Okay, stay where we are like this. The further away your feet are, the harder it's going to be, I think. Yep. And you're just going to do some toe cars. So lift the big toe, hold and squeeze, back down. Lift the big toe, and just do that 2 more times. 1, 2, keeping the feet exactly still. Try and push big toe into the ground, lift off. All the other toes. 2, 3, 4. Now lift all toes, big toe pushes down as the other toes stay up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and now piano key from pinky all the way to big. 2, 3, and 4. Okay. First round of exercises. Grab some water if you need, the equipment you're going to need. If you want a wedge I'm actually going to use the wedge for a progression. So, like, I'm actually adding more, so it's harder for me to dorsiflex. In fact, it might even be a little bit too much for me because my heel's lifting. Yeah, we'll leave that. But if you struggle with dorsiflexion and you need a wedge, you can come down like this, so it's a little bit easier for you. If you don't have a wedge, it's not the end of the world. Just come onto the floor, onto a table. You can use one block. Let's see if it's usually, some people like a soft block, some people like a hard block. That's about right. So first exercise is dorsiflexion, pelvis and rails, and we're going to go into some lift-offs, and then we're going to go into some hip flexion lift-offs. So you have 2 options here with the position. If you have got a pistol squat, you're going to, we'll test for the pistol squat in a minute. Don't worry, I'm going to explain the first round first, and then we'll test for the pistol squat. But this position is a little bit easier. If you want to be in like a pistol squat position and rest here, you can do so, and you can also sit on a little bit of a block if it's a little bit easier. It might take away as much weight from the pelvis and rails, but it's going to benefit this sort of position. The last exercise we're going to be doing after the ankle stuff is hip flexion stuff for this front leg, because that's important too. But what I'm going to do, I want to be in a dorsiflex position as much as I can, and then for the last exercise I'll just come round into that pistol squat position. Testing the pistol squat then. If you have a mat like me, which is really squishy and spongy, it makes the exercise a little bit more difficult. If you want to test and you're not sure if you've got one, hold onto a surface or a stick. You can even hold 2. And just choose a leg. First of all, we're going to work, what side's my strongest? I don't know actually. I think probably right is weaker because left's my stabilizer leg. So I'll work my right foot first, right leg first. I've got a pistol squat, but if you don't have one, literally hold onto this and try to hold it on as minimal as possible. Keep that leg up nice and high, and as you squat down, you can like use the stick to hold as momentum and push back up. It's going to be difficult because we're not as warm as we could be, and then you can try the other side and see which one's weaker, which one's stronger. It's actually kind of hard to hold onto the sticks. It might be easier. It totally depends on what you've got available, but if you've got like a bar and you can have a resistance band, that's really going to help. But if you want to see where you're at without any assistance, you can literally just come down and see how far you can go, and you'll either lose range of motion and you'll have to come out of the position, or you might fall backwards. Try and remember where that position is, and that's kind of your end range when we get to other exercises. You can sit in that position when we do certain things. When we're doing, for like the lift-offs, like this position, you can do what I'm doing by pushing your hands. You can sit on blocks, or you can have a wedge to lift your heel up. Whatever regression you need to do to be in that position, do it, because there's no point working in a position that's just like impossible for you to get to yourself. Grab a little bit of water. First is the dorsiflexion then. So we definitely have to hold this stretch for about 2 minutes, because otherwise nothing's going to change. So literally hang out here, whatever position you can find where you feel a nice sort of stretch, Achilles, back of the calf, and you should feel a little bit of something on the front side. You can play with knee positioning, scanning around to find the best position for you. Just make sure that your heel doesn't lift off the floor, the table, or the block. Slow that breathing down, and honestly, the longer you hold this stretch, the better it's going to be, really, especially if you do need more dorsiflexion. So we're going to do about 2 minutes, but you can do a lot longer if you need to. 2 minutes, I'd say 90 seconds to 2 minutes minimum, but we're doing pels and rails as well, 2 rounds of it, so that effectively does add to the stretching time. So we're probably going to be in this position for about 5 minutes-ish, so it is quite a long time. It really helps if you have something to hold on to, like if I can't quite reach the mat, but if you're on like a little table or something, you can hold underneath it. You can hold the table. For me, I'm just going to be kind of like pushing in my knee, holding, just using upper body tension tools as much as I can. For the pails, you're going to be driving down. Rails, you're going to be lifting off. Try and picture that you have like a little tennis ball here or a water balloon, and you're trying to push away from it so it's not going to pop, or you're trying to crush the floor, and then when you're railsing, you're trying to pop it. So you're really trying to close that angle from big toe to shin. You're trying to close that angle. The allergies here in Texas at the moment are awful, so like I feel like real swollen and inflamed, and just like sinuses are all over the place. So if I sniff and look a bit rough, that's why. Okay, couple more deep breaths and we'll go into the first round. 3, 2, deep breath in, and slowly start to push down into the block as much as we can. Don't let your foot push yourself out of the position. And greatest and safest, off we go. Keep pushing as hard as possible. 5, 3, 2, 1, and rails. So lifting, trying to get big toe to touch shin, crush that water balloon. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. If your body allows, without the heel lifting, sink a little bit deeper. Again, feel free to scan around a bit. If you need to, we're going to be recovering for about 45 seconds. Just try and find a new or a better line of stretch. Slow breathing. Slow inhalation through the nose, even slower exhalation out. Same thing, just exactly the same thing again. Second round, just try and either match that intensity or give it more. Okay, deep breath in. 3, 2, 1, start pushing down, gradually building up to your greatest and safest. Should be there about now, and push. Everything you've got, crushing that block, gas pedaling down, thinking like you're trying to go as fast as you can in the car. 5, 3, 2, 1, and reverse. Keep that position, stay tight. But really try and lift and squeeze. Think about big toe lifting, foot lifting, shin pushing down, closing that angle. Everything you've got. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Again, come down to that breath, slow the breath down, try and just do the best we can to hold this position for a couple of breaths. And then if you want to get into that end range pistol squat position, if you have it, if you don't worry. It might be better to have a little bit of a yoga block on the bum. We're going to come out of that position slightly. So if you're at your end range, I want you to think about lifting the big toe. And when you just keep trying to lift and you relax back, when that lifts off like so, that's the position we're going to do some lift offs in. So you should just about be able to lift the foot off the ground, even if it's a tiny bit. And we're going to do 12 reps here of those lift offs. So try and stay in that position. 3, 2, 1. Lift off, squeeze, slowly back down. 3, it should be really fatiguing. Each time you lift off, think about popping that water balloon. That's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Last one we're going to hold for 10. 10, 9, 8. Even if it drops, keep squeezing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, relax. Left leg, hip flexion then. So we're literally just going to be trying to still think of that ankle dorsiflexion on the right hand side. With this left leg, we're just going to be lifting and holding again for 15 reps this time. So lean forwards, think of that pelvis positions nice and strong in the upper body. And 3, 2, 1. Lift, hold, back down. Lift, hold, back down. 3. Slowly come down as well. 4. 5. It will also add on a little bit more onto this ankle, so if you do feel that, that's normal. 7, I believe. 8, 9, 10. Try and lift as high as you can. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh. Come out of that position. Just give a few ankle circles with that right leg. Unless you've done the left leg first, if that was your weaker, that's okay too. And we're just going to go straight into the other side. And be aware, one side will be different, most likely. I will turn to face kind of like this way so you can see what I'm doing, just in case you need to know. Can you see? About here. Whatever position you can get in as well. It's like with the back leg, whatever is comfortable, you can do this in loads of different positions. You could be in like a standing lunge position against the wall and like really push, but with the pistol squat, think about your end range or the bottom of the pistol squat. Your front leg should be something like this. So that's kind of why we want this position. 2-minute stretch. Try and relax into it. Like I said before, you can scan, find a position where you feel that stretch, but you do want to be in a position where you think, okay, what's an ideal pistol squat going to look like? It's going to be pretty neutral. You're not going to have your knee caved in. It might be ever so slightly externally rotated or out, but probably pretty neutral. A lot of people's problems are their knee collapses in when they do the pistol squat. It's not necessarily the worst thing in the world, but if your knee is collapsing in all the time, then you've obviously got something weak going on the other side. coming up to about a minute. So another minute. And then the 2 rounds of the pels and rails, the lift-offs, and the hip flexion lift-offs. My right hip flexor is wrecked from, I think it was from like some hip extension pels and rails the other day. So my right, I don't know, I must have pushed it extra hard on that side. It's been very sore. Slow inhalation, about 4 to 5 seconds in, and then even longer out, about 6 to 7. Think about gripping the floor, the block, wherever your foot is, grip it with your foot when we go through these pels and rails. Really squeeze and push and then lift, and just actively think about everything moving and working throughout these muscles. Starting in about 10 seconds then, so one more deep breath in. Pack that air down, hold, and 3, 2, 1. Start gradually pushing down into the block. I might try and hold underneath it actually. Oh, lovely. That's better. Oh. Greatest and safest, off we go. 5, 3, 2, 1, and change. Try to lift that big toe, try to lift that foot as we're sinking shin even deeper, crushing that water balloon that's resting on the top of our foot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. If you are in this position, I apologise because I didn't even think about holding on underneath the yoga block. That does, for me, make it way easier for the pails when I'm pushing down, because I can pull at the same time, like pulling myself in. So kind of missed the boat hit there on the other foot, but never mind. You can come back and do this. Maybe I'll add a little bit in. Probably won't. But recovering here. This one's aching a lot more than the other one. My left foot is always a little bit more troublesome. Ooh. Okay, coming up to that second round, I'm going to grab underneath the yoga block again because that felt really good. Deep breath in. Ooh, allergies. 3, 2, 1. Start gradually pushing down, gas pedaling down as hard as you can. Ramping up to your greatest and safest. Should be there in 3, 2, 1. Push. 5, 4, 3. Come on. 2, 1, and rails. Oh, lift off. Squeeze. Ramp it up as much as you can. Come on, really lift, 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 squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Couple of deep breaths to recover. Have a scratch. And then go in. If you want to stay in that position, well, you can't really. You've got to move into the pistol squat position. But if you want to raise the heel, sit on the yoga block, whatever it is that you want to do, so that you can just get a nice position for this hip flexion and for the lift off on the ankle. So remember, try and lift and squeeze like big toe, foot off the floor, and lean back until it lifts ever so slightly. That's your end range position. I believe it was 12 reps. 3, 2, 1. Upper body solidify, don't move it, and lift, squeeze, back down. 2, 3, 4, 5, try and find that end range and really squeeze it at the top. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Even if it's dropping, keep going. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Sink as deep as you can. And we're gonna, if you want to remove the block, if you want to kind of like try and hold the pistol squat position as you lift, you can do that too, but that's going to be really, really hard. Lean forward as much as possible. 3, 2, 1. Lift, squeeze, down. Lift, squeeze, down. Every time you lift, think about dorsiflexion on the foot as well. 4, 5, 6, 7, 15 of these. 8, over halfway. 9, lift as high as you can and squeeze slowly back down. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh, there we go. Whew. Left ankle, just keep that shin as still as we can. Just a couple of ankle cars each way. Cool, that vent needs a clean. Grab some water. For the next set of exercises, we're going to be working on knee flexion. Very important to have knee flexion strength, especially in that bottom position. A lot of people, when they do a lot of pistol squats, because you can just kind of sink and drop into that end range position, they will get some knee pain. So it's important to work on that. So we're going to be in a prone position. Right leg first. The first exercise is going to be using a stretching strap. You're just going to come into end range flexion of your knee. So you do that yourself, find the position, we're going to hold, and then we're going to do pails. You're going to try and literally hold the strap and try and break free of it, but don't let yourself break free. Just really try and hold it. And then for the rails, you're going to let go of the strap and just really try and bring heel as much as you can to bum whilst trying to hold that neutral pelvis position. You may cramp in the hamstring here. That's totally normal. Second exercise is going to be banded hip flexion. We're going to be laying down. You found it. If you want to unlock the pistol squat, doing classes like this, plus just working on rotational capacity of the hip, spinal control, like we go through, you know, the bread and butter really of the body, and then just practicing those pistol squats, three times a week, even if you need to use like bands or resistance bands or something to allow you to sink deeper, blocks, whatever it is. But if you have any questions, let me know, and I'll see you on the next video.